Now, do you know like people who you're supposed to eliminate, or is it just kind of like you're not going to win the Royal Rumble period, so I'm taking you out now? How do you know who you're going to eliminate?
Yeah, they're not always super. From what I remember about it, they weren't always super intent on who was doing the eliminating. On certain eliminations, they were, but on some of them, it was just like, all right, we need to get rid of this guy, and this guy. So, and I think some of that is worked out, amongst us. Like, okay, so then I'll get you out, and then you do this, and then that'll take me out. So, I don't. From what I remember about it, it isn't so like every single elimination is strategically planned out and who does the elimination. There are a lot of those, yes, but there's some of them where it's just like, okay, we need to get a few guys out, and those might be worked out amongst the guys. So it's kind of a split of both, from what I remember.
So is it a possibility for someone to just come in and be like, you know what, I'm only going to be here for a couple of minutes. Let me try to just throw somebody else out real quick. Does the person who they just try to throw out, like, do they just go with it and say, okay, well, I'm going out, or like, no, you weren't supposed to do that? How does that go?
Well, what do you mean in terms of?
Yeah, so if I'm going in at like 25, right, and I know that I'm about to be gone at 27, like for me, I'm gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to get somebody out just to say I want to have a stake in the match a little bit and say, in the records I had an elimination. Does if I go in and say, hey, Chris Masters is in the, not even necessarily you, but if I go in and say, you know what, Chris, hey, I'm about to eliminate you. Like, how do y'all work that out?
Well, in a situation like that, especially if you look at that 2007 Royal Rumble, it'd be kind of like difficult because there's also a lot of seniority and guys who have different guys who've been in the business a while. There's a lot of established guys in there. Yeah. So like, it wasn't like you could kind of, I think, just say like, hey, I'm eliminating you, or I got to eliminate somebody type of thing. You know what I mean? You kind of had to just fall in line. And, I think in some situations, yeah, you were lucky if you were able to get an elimination. But, I wouldn't say that everybody, I'm sure in the back of our minds we're thinking that, but a lot of times when you're in matches like that, I don't think it's, you want to eliminate somebody, but it's not the end all be all. I mean, I think you'd rather just be in there longer, even more so than eliminate somebody is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I don't know, I could be wrong on that, but that just seems to make a little more sense to me. But sure, throwing some people out, I mean, that would be,
yeah, I mean, that's not me. Like, if I know how I'm supposed to be there for a couple minutes,
I'm trying to think if I tried to petition to throw anybody out, but I don't remember it kind of really being a situation like that. Like a lot of the eliminations were like, again, they told us maybe a few guys needed to come out here, and then it was kind of worked out amongst the group of us. And I'm sure, I guess you could try to politic to get an elimination, but it's just more about what needs to happen for the match itself. So it's like you almost got to kind of put, that kind of stuff and your ego aside a little bit, or at least that's how I approached it.
Got you. And then lastly, my last question is: you were eliminated by RVD. Was that planned?
Yeah, like that part. I don't know if that was planned by the office told us like RVD needs to eliminate you. I'm inclined to think I might have just actually asked Rob to eliminate me. But then again, it's hard to say because we're talking about well over a decade. If I was going to lean towards one, I would think that, I don't know for sure. But like, as a lot of you guys know, I mean, RVD is one of my closest friends in the business. I mean, we don't talk as much anymore, but he's still just one of those guys to me. So I very well could have been like, oh, I need to get eliminated this time. Hey, Rob, what can you do to get me out type of thing? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
If that kind of answers your question at all a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely does. Awesome. Good stuff, man. It's been a fun time. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, he's Chris Masters. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone, and you just witnessed the inside scoop. So long.